Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
I fell and lost to the war, shot me dead. I was lost and sad to the voices in my head. I'm gonna get up again. I'm gonna get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up again. I'm gonna get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up again. Look into my eyes. My heart beats like a drum. You listen to my lies. Love is far to come. Your love is far. Running at the speed of light, kissing every city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Running at the speed of light, kissing every city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Gotta get up again. I'm gonna get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get gonna get up again.
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I
What is going on, traders? How are we doing tonight? Happy Sunday. How was your weekend? Who do we got in the room tonight? 62 traders. Okay. Make sure you fill out the poll at the top. We got how we doing tonight? Ready to learn? Let's bank this week or just chilling? Fill it out, traders. Thank you for joining us tonight on this lovely Sunday. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I hope you worked a lot less than I did. Who do we got in the room today? We got Jay-licious. Welcome back. You were early. Nice work. Okay. Day Trader, V Reeves, the Bastard Trader. How you doing tonight, Bastard? Thank you for modding for us. I appreciate that. Aaron, how you doing? Shane Dorsey, Lena, welcome back. Residual Income, how you doing tonight? Den Fresh. Who else we got in here? Forex Husky. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are live with Elegant Trader in just a few minutes here. Ready to rock, Bastard? Awesome. Davey Noy, new to this? Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're new to the channel, settle in, relax, take it easy, and let's dive into things, traders. We got Elegant Trader on tonight. All right? He's up on the screen. If you're not following him, you're going to want to hit that follow. He's doing a 1.5K challenge. He's posting all his trades and stuff like that, putting out great material for you guys to learn and develop your own trading styles. And we're going to get into that right now. Alrighty, so I'm going to flip the music off, and we're going to hop into the call. All right, I'm going to leave his Twitter up on screen. I'm going to give him a call. Alrighty. How you doing, Keo? Thank you for joining us tonight. We got 70 traders in the chat today. Awesome. So let me adjust the volume first before I get them on. Perfect. That's looking good. All the back end stuff. All right. I'm going to get him on the call now. He says he's good. Perfect. Hello.
Hey, do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Let me just check the volume if you want to say something. How you doing tonight, Elegant?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Awesome, man. Awesome. Had a good weekend?
Everything's good. Yeah, we for the week. How was yours?
Okay, gotcha. Is there a delay or something? I feel like there might be a delay.
I think I hear a delay, yeah.
Are you listening on the stream or over Discord?
Let me see.
I think you might
How's that?
You might be listening over the Twitch stream. Then there might be a delay.
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
It seems it's okay on my end, just as long as you're hearing me on time. Yeah, we'll get into things.
Yeah, I think I hear you fine.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on tonight. I appreciate that. Huge turnout. This is big, man. Thank you for agreeing to come on the stream. I really appreciate that. I've been a fan for a while. I love your trading style. I've been in your Zoom calls and things like that, checking out your stuff. So really good material you're putting out for free nonetheless. So that is super cool, dude. And I just want to say that we all appreciate you, and we're excited to learn tonight. So, yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, Hunter. Appreciate you, and appreciate the support, and thank you to everyone that has joined us this evening.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let's just jump into it. So usually how I start these things is we'll talk about kind of your background to trading, how you found it, and then if you could go over maybe some things that didn't work and how you developed your strategy a little bit. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, definitely. So I started trading. I took it seriously about 3 years ago, and my first trade was actually Bitcoin back in 2014, I believe it was, and I purchased it for think it was like $700 or something like that, and I sold it for double.
Wow.
And so I'm kind of beating myself up over that, but uh, I that was like my first trade in the market. And I told myself that it's just kind of interesting how you could put some money in and make a return, 100% return like that. So I decided at that point that I was gonna start trying to trade here and there. I never really got to doing it until years after that, because I was busy with the businesses I have,
Okay.
and I own several businesses. But I basically told myself that after I'm able to get comfortable enough, I'm going to take this stuff seriously.
Right.
So after that, it was about I think it was 2018 where I started really focusing in. And I actually didn't even know Twitter was such a big deal for traders, and especially retail traders. I just saw it more so as a tool, but I
Okay.
didn't really discover it until around 20, I think it was 2020, early 2020. And I was mainly just focused on teaching myself through the market. I read one book, which was by Anthony Aziz, How to Day Trade for a Living. Once I read that book, I then started just focusing on the market day to day. So that's kind of how I started in my background.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So you own the businesses before you started trading.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So that's what gave me my first level of equity going into trading, so that I was able to actually trade.
Right, right. And so would you say you started with like a fairly large account or a smaller account or
Yeah. So how I started was I put in 25,000 and for the PDT, and then
right.
started growing that 25,000 until I hit 100,000. And then once I passed 100,000, I blew my account,
No
uh,
way.
and it was really, I think that was the first wake up call for me, which was that I really needed to focus on education versus trading. And I think a lot of the time it gets misconstrued on what that means. And what that means is not trading uh, and actually learning before you trade.
Right.
And that was the key for me. And so I told myself I was going to take a month and really study. So I did that. And right after I did that, I went in again and grew my account uh, exponentially after that. I got to around 110,000 the second time, and then I blew my account again.
No way.
So yeah, so two times I blew 100,000, and after that, I then took education even more seriously
Right.
to really understand the market, and that's kind of where I began with the next. You know, uh, I started the second time or the third time I started with $1,000, and here we are.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So when you blew up those accounts, were you trading equity or options at the time or both?
So my main focus was equity.
Gotcha.
I don't think any trader should be trading options until they understand equity,
Of course.
because equity is the core foundation of the entire market, dating back to the early 1900s.
Right.
There was no such thing as options, and so the focus for me was always how can I trade equity, and once I learn how to trade equity, then move into the large cap sort of options trades that we see a lot of today. And because with options trading, you can quickly lose your account without knowing why. A lot of people question why and what happened to the option and why did it lose so much value. So there's many reasons for that.
Right. So when you kind of started out and you're trading equity, what were some things that you kind of started with? Like, did you start with technical analysis, or did you start with fundamentals, or some focuses for you?
Yeah, so actually the first thing I tried to understand was, why does the stock move?
Right. Okay.
And I think most people, especially newer traders, don't really understand why these stocks move. I think they just get into it when they see something moving quickly, or they move into it because someone tells them. And I was that person where I would see someone talking about something and try to get in. But
Right.
most of the time when that happens, it's a losing battle. And there's reasons for that. The market has changed drastically, especially through uh, Twitter now, and Discord rooms, and different paid rooms and those sorts of things, which uh, I think you should avoid until you understand the basic fundamentals. And the basic fundamentals that I push constantly is support and resistance.
Right.
You have to understand, at the very least, what support and resistance means, and why there is support and resistance. And I think once you understand that basic thing, then you can add more layers to it. But um, what I'm seeing now, especially with newer traders, is that they don't understand it, and they're trying to make money on the market without understanding what that is. And that's a very dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, I mean, that was my first step as well. Was trying to nail down. I blew up a couple counts too, but after I did that, trying to nail down support and resistance and really figure out, okay, like what are we actually looking at here, right? Uh, so after you blew up your count for the second time, what was kind of the wake up call? What did you change, and what was the next move for you where you really started to find your consistency and success?
Yeah. So what I did at the beginning was, so this was like early. So when I was starting to educate myself, I was on the markets for about 14 hours a day, and at the time, through work and everything like that, I was balancing both, and balancing the businesses and balancing trading. But I knew that I wanted to be a trader full time. So I would spend every moment I could on the market, whether it was in the evening time, staying up very late to study the market the day before, or figure out what happened during that day in the market. Um, because this takes a lot of dedication. You're not going to just jump in and start making some money and then saying see you later. I mean,
Right.
a lot of people, there's a lot of people that struggle with balancing work and trading, and I've been there. And there is time if you want it bad enough.
Right.
So that's one thing I really push. It's not a part-time job; it has to be full-time, because you're really not going to understand the moves, and you're really not going to understand the market unless you're watching something every day, because every day changes. So um, what was kind of like the move for me was one of the biggest trades I ever had was IDEX, which was IDEX, and this was a company that was um, basically supplying battery chargers, as far as like electric charging. And I got a whiff of it, did my due diligence, and just decided to go all in. And I nowadays I say don't go all in because it's a different market, but
Right.
back when I was doing this, the market was just beginning to become this sort of how can I say this, like this meme stock movement,
Right.
this Reddit Wall Street bets movement, which has happened. But this is way before that, and I think this was one of the small cappers that really kind of set in the that sort of movement, and I think I made like 300-400% off that.
Wow.
And that was my first big hit. And that was where I told myself that, hey, this is the time to go all in. I feel comfortable enough to do this for a living.
Right. Right. And at that time, were you primarily swing trading or day trading? And did you have a full time job? Like you said, you had your businesses, right?
Yeah, so it was definitely balance, and
Right.
I and just because you have your own businesses does not mean you can't, you have to put in the time.
Of
So
course.
it's actually more time actually sometimes.
Right.
But you have to be able to find a balance, and I think everyone can find a balance at some point in the day to study. And it's going to be hard, but you have to find a balance in order to do this actually at a full-time basis and be successful at it.
Right. Okay. Cool. So did you have any like when you're day trading and swing trading? Did you have like a daily goal or like a kind of a weekly goal that you were trying to like target, for example?
Yeah, sure. Actually, to get back to your question, so I was actually swing trading
Okay.
for the most part at the beginning, because for day trading and swing trading is completely different. I mean,
Right.
your support zones, your resistance zones, V Wap. There's a lot of different things that are involved in it, and the charting on top of that and patterns is different. So it changes on a daily basis, and you can compare a trend line from a day versus a trend line on a swing, on a 5-day chart or whatever you use. So it is super different. But I was primarily a swing trader at that point. Right now, swing trading has become more complicated because of the volatility in the market and kind of what we're seeing overall from the retail side. But yeah, I was primarily a swing trader, and my goal was to just make $50 a day. Like that was my first goal, and I told myself if I can make $50 a day consistently for 5-6 months, then I can increase that. And when you start with a small goal like that, especially after blowing hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's kind of like a step back. But sometimes
Right.
you have to take a step back to take a step forward.
Right.
And I was totally okay with doing that because I wanted to really understand the fundamentals of trading. And realistically, when I was taking those accounts up, there was a lot of luck involved in that. And so I wanted to understand why everything makes the moves it makes. These tickers make the moves they make, and small caps versus large caps, and all those sorts of things, which I didn't understand at that time.
Got you. Okay. And when did you start to get into options trading?
So, so in early 2020, I found a group, a really small group called Atlas Trading,
Okay.
that was kind of like they were building a name, for themselves at the time, but it wasn't as big as they are now. And I definitely give my respects to Zach and everyone because or PJ firstly for creating it. But when I jumped into that room, that was like a eye opener because at the time there was a good amount of people, but there wasn't that many, and there
Right.
was enough space where you could really understand um, why the everything like these moves were making the moves they make, and then on the education side, they had a ton of education in that room. So that really helped for me once I already had learned the fundamentals to be in a room like that because you could have discussions with people, and that was really new to me, and I wasn't used to that. So uh, that was kind of like the beginning of uh, my like the big movement of my journey was
Right.
during the beginning of like January 2020 during the whole Atlas movement that was beginning at that point.
Okay. Got you. And they kind of introduced you to options in there.
Well, I've played with options. Options was again it was not at the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
The fact that the movements and the volatility and everything that's involved. There's a lot involved in options. I don't think people understand, but you're dealing with so many different factors on a day-to-day basis. You're dealing with time decay. You're dealing with IV. You're dealing with so many things with options. And at the time, I remember when I made my first options move, it was in Amazon, and I was wanting to do a day trade, and I
Okay.
went in and put in 25,000, and I was, way out of the money. And at the time, I didn't understand IVs or anything like that, so I was just basically I bought really with a high IV, and the market pulled. it didn't pull much, but it pulled like 30-40 bucks on Amazon. And I remember having like 4 or 5K left and selling. And then all of a sudden it bounced off support and went all the way back up.
Oh
So
man.
that's when I understood, like that was my first realization of what options really was and
Right.
how quickly things could move and what support was and how when you have strong support somewhere and how it could bounce. So nowadays, like those are the easiest trades for me because they're called, they're scalp trades. So
Mm-hmm.
I on scalp options trades I load heavy, and then I can sell for 20 to 30% very quickly.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that was when I really learned about the power of options and what they kind of offered because I made a call last week on Lucid, for example, LCID,
Yep.
where I got out at 20% because I was doing the challenge. So I didn't want people to kind of be stuck in trades or anything like that. So I wanted them to take their 20% profit, but that trade went 1,200%
Oh my
on
God.
option side. So that
Wow.
that was one thing that really that's what the power of options can do for you if you know how to trade it.
Right. Right. And yeah, knowing that support and resistance is really going to help that as well. Um, what are some of your favorite setups to enter a trade? Like, do you like a nice sell off to support, or do you like to play like kind of a breakout play, like testing that resistance, then it pops, or what are some setups you like to play?
Yeah, so I play a bit of everything.
Okay.
It just depends what I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to play options or whether I'm trying to play equity or what it is I'm trying to play. So on the equity side, I push this a lot, but I try to always look for what a great base level. So I love when small caps base uh, for a long time because especially on the short interest side and seeing the float. I like to see them base because I know it's the bigger move is coming at some point. And right now, you see a lot of these tickers do move because you see the chatter on Twitter or in these rooms.
Of course.
Um, they talk about like the pumps and dumps, but realistically, it's the breakout comes at some point, one way or another. So
Right.
it's just a matter of timing. But I look for a lot of the time I look for basing levels on small caps, and I always buy in super early. So I'm always in maybe like a couple of days before it goes. And that really has led to a lot of my success on the small cap side because when you're in super early, then your emotional intelligence is not being stressed as much when you're in early and you're able to kind of capitalize on the movements um, on the upside without worrying about losing. And I think a lot of the time when traders do get into these small cap trades, they're buying kind of high, so they're super stressed out and sweating, trying to figure out when to get out. But when you're in early, you don't have to worry about those things, and that goes into finding the play and finding it at the right time.
Right. Right. And so my next question is because I'm honestly, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a very good swing trader. I'm mostly day trades. I like to be out of the market, um, and that kind of thing. I don't know. I get like anxiety and stuff. um,
Yeah.
when do you like to take your profits on these swing trades? Are there certain resistance levels that you know, like, okay, I can take 25% there, but I think it has a bigger move coming. Where do you like to take your profits on those trades?
For sure. So I don't ever base my strategy on thinking, like in the sense that it's not a matter of what I think, it's a matter of
Okay,
what I see.
gotcha.
And what I see is like any trade I take, I study the historical levels of this ticker. I don't get there's never a moment where I'll get in a trade when I see uh, that something is just moving. And if I see it moving, I always take a moment to study the history. When you study the history of tickers, even if it's like take 5 minutes to study it, sure you might have lost some money on the overall by not getting in earlier, but if you don't know where this is going and where it could dump to, or where the support is, or how high the range is. There's so many factors that you're just putting up, and just in a guess. You're playing a guessing game,
Right.
and I never play a guessing game. I always look at, okay, what does the chart tell me that this is where is this going to go? So sometimes you have to even go back like 5 years, 10 years on some of these trades to see, okay, well, these algos never forget the levels they're at. They never forget.
Right.
So there's always that resistance level or support level on those tickers, because the algos never forgot where they went. So I always take a moment to look back and see where the historical levels are on the trade, especially on the small cap side, so that I can make the right determination to get into the trade or not. A lot of people get into trades at the very top, and then they wonder what happens when there's a huge knife, or things the people dump on them, basically.
Right.
And the reason that happens is because they're not studying the chart. They're seeing all this hype on Twitter, or these rooms, and they're just excited to get in and make some money. But take a moment and understand this chart and understand where the support levels and resistance levels are. Once you're able to see that, you'll be like, oh man, I shouldn't have gone into that trade, because this was at the highest level ever.
Right.
So there's no reason to get into a trade when it's at the highest. Like, I don't care how much money you can make. It's just it doesn't make sense for me on a personal side. Um,
Gotcha.
but and anytime, it's very important on the small cap world to study the psych levels. So psych levels are like, if $10 is coming, I know that's a psych level, and I always get out at 9.5 or 9.4, because I'm not going to hold it through the 10 level, because you don't know if the knife is coming or not. But you usually see that the volume starts fading away and people start selling as it's moving closer to 10. And the reason you get those big knives is because there's a lot of sellers at the same time. So and if you sell a little bit earlier and take what you can versus just holding it through and hoping, that's where you could lose tremendously, especially if you bought higher than you should have.
Right. Real quick question. Would you be able to pull up a chart and share your screen? And maybe you can show us a couple tickers that can kind of show us some examples of what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second.
That'd be awesome. And if you want to walk us through maybe a couple trades you took on your small account, I think that'd be super cool as well.
Yeah, let me pull up Thinkorswim. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time. If chat has any questions, feel free to post, and I will read them out to Elegant. We did have one earlier that I forgot to read out. I can't find it, who posted it, but they're wanting to know how long it took you to build your consistency.
Yeah, so I ended up on that account that I was talking about, which was the $50 a day account. I went consistent for. I mean, I had losing days too, of course. But overall, I was pretty consistent over 6 months, making $50 a day.
Gotcha.
And to me, that was a lot. I started with 3 months, and then I went to 6 months because I just wanted to be sure. But I think if you're making a goal for yourself, make that goal for at least 3 months, because if you can trade consistently for 3 months and make money daily doing it, I mean, you're gonna have your losing trades, of course, but that kind of determines if you should continue with the strategy you have or not.
Right.
But yeah, I started at $50 a day, and then now my goal is 10K a day.
Wow, that's crazy. How inspiring is that? That's super cool, man.
Yeah, and always, the key is always start slow and be smart with your money. I mean, this is, for a lot of people, this is not money they can just lose. So it's very important to take that into consideration before getting into a trade.
Right.
And don't ever get into the market with money that you can lose, or you want to get into the market with money Don't get into the market with money you can't lose, because then it becomes a lot more stressful, and there's way too much pressure on you. So it's always good to have that leeway where you have that flexibility of losing the money if you have to at the worst case scenario.
Got you. Yeah, and I've heard that before from other traders we had on here. I think it was Dr. Bullshark who said something similar. Like, before he takes a trade, he doesn't think about how much money he could make on the trade. He thinks about how much money he's willing to lose on the trade, and then that's how much he puts into it. And I think that's a pretty cool takeaway.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that in each trade, it's not about necessarily how much money you can make on that specific trade.
Right.
It's about where you are in the trade. So if the ticker's already made the big move and you're getting in at a resistance point, or you're getting in at a support point, you're not going to make the money that you thought you were going to make if you would have gotten in earlier. So you have to be able to adjust the amount based on where you're at in the trade, and what support lines you're at, or what resistance levels you're at, and all that, because it just depends on how much bigger the move is. And if I'm going to go into a move, for example, I get in at 950 and the resistance is at 10, and I'm trying to make $50, well, I have to understand that I only have really 30 cents, 40 cents before I have to get out. So that's very important to remember, is like, you don't go into the trade thinking you're going to make that exact amount of money if you haven't evaluated where the actual move is on that specific trade.
Right. And as far as stop losses, are you using an actual stop loss, or do you wait and you kind of look for a price action that you don't like and you'll just cut it mentally?
Yeah, so I do have stop losses.
Okay.
And stop losses are mainly based on the support levels. So if when I'm looking at a chart, I always line out my levels, and I try to see. I use fibs and different things as well, but I see. I always I want to know where my levels are, and I'll usually mark the stop losses just under the support levels, because um, you know market makers and big traders that are on a whole different level, they can see your orders, so they know that I'm trying to sell at the support level. They can see that. So if I drop it just under the support level and it bounces off support, then I'm still in the trade. But if I have it right at support and it sells off right at support and then it bounces, then I just missed that move. So what I use is I use I usually just go right under support, whether it's like 20, depending on whether it's large cap or small cap. But on the small cap side, I'll go like 20 cents under
Okay.
the support line, so that I don't get shaken out.
Right.
Is there a specific ticker
No, no.
anyone wants me to look at?
I don't think so. Chat, do you have a specific ticker that you want Elegant to pull up? I think they wanted to see when you were talking about when a small cap is basing, how you like that setup. So if you have an example like that,
Gotcha.
that'd be
Yeah, let me
awesome.
think. Let me look for something current.
And then, yeah, if you want to cover support and resistance lines as well, Jay Licious is asking. APRE, the Bastard Trader says, might be a good one.
Lots of new ones coming. Yeah, that's moving again. I did 100% on that. Like I forgot when that was. I think it was in January or February.
Holy shit, really?
So that one's a good one. Yeah, we can take a look at that one too.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, let me share my screen here.
Yep.
I've never done this on here, but let me see.
Yeah, just that little computer screen thing. If you click that, then
Gotcha.
you pick your whatever screen you're on. It brings a drop down, and then I will share that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Perfect. So let me switch to share screen on my end, and we will get into this. It's just loading up still over here.
Okay, I have to allow the change. 1 second.
Okay. Perfect. We can see it now. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to take chat off the screen on my side. Perfect. And once again, guys, if you have any questions while we're going along, anyone in chat, feel free. Please put your questions in. Just make sure that you at 100_1,000,000 so I see it, and we can get your question answered. Okay.
Got it. So this is the most basic setup I use. This is not my current setup, but I want to do this for newer traders and traders that are still trying to understand levels of support and all that. But I use this script, which is on our website for a whopping $1 because we're not trying to make money off of it.
Wow.
We're just trying to help you guys. But this I use this because this maps out my especially for new traders, this is like a perfect script. I wish I had this back then. But it maps out the red as your support level and the green as your resistance levels. And then you see these two dotted lines. These are called trend lines.
Okay.
So you watch to see where the trend lines are on the ticker overall. Right now, it's showing it here in after hours because it moves with you through the day, which is really great because it can show you that there's new support and resistance levels on the day trading side instead of the swing side.
Wow.
So when you're day trading, this will move with you throughout the day, so it can show you the new support and resistance levels, which is great.
That's really
so
cool.
You can see right here it's an after hours, so it's like showing the trend levels and the support and resistance in after hours. But so you can see, let me show you guys something on CRVS. So this is something that was moving on Friday, and it was really building up. I mean, you had huge volume here, as you can see down here, which, by the way, I don't ever purchase anything that is trading at $1 million a minute. When I see over $1 million a minute, that means there's too much volume moving in, and the sell-offs could happen quickly. And people sell into the move, so you have to be wary of that. So I usually like to get in around like 300,000. If it's moving at 300,000, then I will get in. But if it's moving over $1 million, I don't get in at the time.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. So you can see, so this yellow line right here, I don't know if you guys know it, but the newer traders won't know this line. This is called the V Wap level. So this is essentially the entire market overall uses, especially market makers and people on the upper levels that trade. They use this line as like an indicator that where you generally want to keep the ticker at throughout the day. So it helps them stay on the same page, essentially, without actually telling each other that. So you can see that CRVS had a move here in pre-market, and the key is to always look at these pre-market levels as well, because it will set up the day for what the ticker is going to look like on a small cap side. So it does sometimes on the large cap side too, but small caps is very important to look at. So at this level, you can see that it was setting up a support line on the initial spike that it had here in pre-market, which broke past resistance. So this basing that it did right at the VWAP level and right under VWAP is very important. So a lot of these small caps, they like to fall under VWAP and then build the support off where they had the support earlier in the day here. So they don't always bounce off VWAP, but they'll drop right under. And this is what this did. And it does, you guys, once you start, you'll actually see it happening so often, because they want to shake people out. They use this VWAP level. So when it drops under VWAP, they shake people out because people are selling into this, but it's actually building the support here. But if you know your support levels, then you'll know when this will actually be an indicator for not buying and an indicator for buying, depending on where the support level is and if it's bouncing off those support lines. So here you can see it tested it several times. I mean, you can see up and down that it was doing right here. It was basically testing the support line, and then it had the initial move here. So this was the big move it had here. during on the intraday after it pulled back. So then you can see right here, just bounced right off VWAP, and it never came back to it.
Right.
So it was building support as it was moving up on the intraday side. So this is all just basics that you see throughout the day, and you can see just it constantly basing. I'm trying to think of a good chart where it had a nice base and it kept making big moves. I think it was EF. What was that big one? It was EF. I can't remember the name. Let's see if it was EFTR. Yeah, I think it was this one. Yeah, so you can see this one. I'm looking at the 30-minute chart here,
Okay.
the 10-day 30-minute chart, but you can see these falling wedge patterns it was creating and basing and then making a move. If we looked at this on the 1-minute side, you would be able to see how many times it did that basing and move. I mean, throughout this entire day here, it was literally doing it the entire day. It kept basing and moving up, kept basing and moving up. So this was like the easiest trade. Actually, I wasn't really trading that day, which was unfortunate, but it did it here too. I mean, you can see throughout like after hours into pre-market and into the intraday side, it had the huge move the next day. And it kept doing this basing and basing and moving up, you know, it just did it constantly until it broke down here.
Right.
So these are like the basic patterns to look at. I mean, right here, if you look, I mean, this is like one of the most basic patterns is this falling wedge pattern where it makes the move, falls back, bases on support, and moves back up. I mean, this is like the most basic one.
Yeah.
But that's one you guys can always look at to see. But one thing I really like to look at, the chart I like to look at a lot is the 180-day 4-hour. This chart is not really good for that, but let's say something like BBIG. See BBIG, which is a meme stock as well, but this always has these big moves every several months. It has this big spikes that it has, and it does it off the basings, the levels off basing, and you can see these basing levels it has, and it keeps creating support here, and it's always setting up for the big move. I mean, here just bounced off the bottom trend channel,
right,
and off support like way back here.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You see, and it just bounced right off of it and had a huge move.
Right.
And where was the resistance? Well, it was right here. I mean, it went right over resistance and it had the huge pull. So if you bought here thinking that was going to make a bigger move, well, if you had looked at the initial move in January, you would have known that the resistance was right there. Right. So you wouldn't have been caught in the pullback. So this is a big time, and these are some of the indicators I use to kind of study the ticker overall.
Okay. I think that was a question as well, is your top 4 indicators that you like.
Yeah, so, oh man, that's a good one. So the ones I truly like to look at on overall is obviously our trend channels. I look at the EMA 50. I really like to use that. I use MA 10 on the daily, and the moving average on the 10 side, it's good for me during the day because there's a lot of bounces off of that, the MA 10, and I really like the indicator. But I use a lot of the basics at the very beginning of a trade, and then I move into like the fibs, and I try to see where what the next move is going to be. There's a lot of technical indicators that I use. I don't want to go too much into them just because I don't want to confuse people. But the main ones I look at is support, resistance, V Wap. I'm looking at volume, which is a huge deal. Don't ever forget volume.
Yep.
Because volume could be the setup for the next big move. And yeah, for basic traders, look at support, resistance, WAP, and volume. Those are the 4 I would look at. And trend channels, of course.
And so, what are a few tips on how to read volume?
Yeah, so generally speaking, like I said earlier, I don't generally like to trade anything that's moving at a million or more, because that to me means there's a pullback coming.
Okay.
When there's that much going into it, because
Interesting.
when the volume is pouring into it and it's making the big move, there's going to be people that are going to sell into that, right? So
Right.
you don't want to be caught in the big move because it could pull back on you quickly. And if you haven't studied the chart, you have no clue what's about to happen. So that's why I wouldn't trade, especially for newer traders. I would not trade into a huge volume spike because um, it can be sold very quickly, and then you're caught into that move. So you can, but also don't confuse like these volume spikes. Don't confuse selling with buying
Right.
as well. So make sure you understand that there's selling and then there's buying. So don't mix those up.
And so your volume bars, do you like to have them different colors? Because I've seen other traders, they like to keep them the same color to kind of eliminate any, if it's all buying or all selling. Like I've heard kind of mixed on that.
Yeah, I mean, I use, just depending on what I'm trying to look for, I'll
Right.
change the color. But like here on this side, I have like, as you can see, different colors here.
Yeah, yeah.
But here I have them as a plain color. It just depends on what I'm trying to look at during the day.
Gotcha.
Uh, and I'll just kind of make the move at that point.
Okay, cool. We do have one more question from Holy Halligan. What about the MACD or stock indicators?
Yeah, I mean, I use MACD at times.
I find I kind
It's
of just flip to it, look at it, and then I'll turn it off again.
yeah. I mean, I think it is a good indicator to use. I mean, I use it, you know, pretty often.
Okay.
It just depends on where your levels, like what is the purpose of using? Like I'll ask, what's the purpose of using that indicator for yourself? Like
Right.
if you have a strategy and everyone has a different one, if it makes sense for you, use it. If it doesn't, and everyone is using it, but it doesn't make sense to you, don't use it. I always, indicators are really at some point when you get experienced enough, it becomes personal preference. So
Right.
just use what you think is best for you. And when you get to that level, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. I think that answered your question as well, V Reeves. Uh, yeah, if you guys have any more questions on indicators or day trading, intraday stuff like that, feel free to post in chat.
Yeah, the big thing to understand is like, don't overuse everything.
Right.
You know, don't try to use like 20 things at the same time because you're just going to be lost. Find the things that work for you and create a strategy for yourself of things that work for you in the real market, and then just base it off that. And because everyone can give you all these different sorts of things to look for, but it really all comes down to your personal preference and what really works for you overall. So let's keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like it's so overwhelming with, different traders to follow, different, sectors to look at, different indicators. Like there's so many different ways that you can trade. You really got to kind of sort through them quickly and kind of find out, okay, this setup works for me, I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's great. Is there any? Do you want to walk through any of your trades that you took with your small account, and then we can move on to some stuff that you're putting together?
Yeah. So on this, man, there's been a good amount of trades, but I know we did Tesla on, what day was that? I think that was on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. We had certain moves. Let me see here. We played this move here on the bounce, on the scalp bounce here on, I believe this was Thursday.
Okay.
And so we played this. I mean, this was pretty easy. It just bounced right off support after the pullback, which Tesla loves to do this. So whether it's moving up or moving down at open, when it moves down, it it always bounces off support. So if you're quick enough, you can get in this move very quickly and make whatever money you make based on how much you put in. But the scalping on Tesla is pretty simple because it's going to bounce off the support lines, but you got to study them, of course, and to figure out
Right.
where the support lines are here. But it does that all the time. So one person that I definitely admire that is a good friend and definitely an incredible trader is Christina, which her Twitter name is Little Rascal.
I think she's
She
here
plays
tonight. I think she's in the chat.
perfect. I call her the queen of large caps, but she's great at small caps too. But she knows exactly what to look for on Tesla. I mean, anything that I've seen her call out on Tesla has been accurate, and it's pretty
Wow.
incredible. But when you get to that level of understanding the ticker and understanding its moves, and you can literally sit there and just study one ticker and make money every day. SPY is one of those where you can do that at, and Tesla is another one that you can do it at. Nvidia and all these guys. These are large caps that you can just sit there and study day after day and figure out the moves they like to make, and you only play that every day. I've seen people just play one ticker every day. I have a friend that plays SPY every single day, and that's all he plays.
That's incredible.
So
You
yeah,
just learning the personalities, how it runs, how it plays on news, kind of things like that, right?
exactly. So you can see how it plays on news, but I mean these algos are the key. I mean
Right.
you gotta once you understand what support and what resistance lines that can move around at and where the strong support is and where the strong resistance is. I mean, those are the levels that you really want to understand because you can use those almost every single day to make whatever money you want to make and whatever your goal is. But you can use that to um, on a daily basis. I mean, you can sit here and see Tesla pull back at its support line and play the bounce really quick every single day when it
Right.
pulls back. When it moves up, but when it pulls back, you can play it off the bounce. I mean, anytime it pulls back during the day, you can just play it off the support
Man, that's funny.
and real quick. So a lot of people do that, which is a great move, but it all depends on what you're looking for. But
Right.
again, if you want to make $100 or $1,000, depending on the options, you have to decide how much you're gonna put in for that sort of bounce. So if you have $1,000 bucks quickly off that scalp trade, you know. So
Right. Yeah, Tesla is actually one of the ones that helped erase my account one of the times that I blew it up. It faked. I didn't know very much at the time. I was still I barely knew support and resistance, which probably would have helped. I think I was in AJ Trader's room at the time, and yeah, just the fake outs in the morning. Any advice on how to avoid fake outs on some of these stocks like Tesla that just kind of go crazy, or like AMD that just go nuts before they settle down?
yeah, so some of these tickers like to move quickly at the open. I'm not like, especially for newer traders, I'm not a big into the getting into the move right at open. I always allow myself like 3 to 5 minutes
Right.
to see how it's going to play out, because you could get very quickly faked out. But again, if you know your resistance, then you're going to know that that's at the point and it's not going to move past it. It might test it several times, but you can usually see the volume and how much it's selling versus how much people are buying. And once you see how many people are buying versus how many people are selling at that resistance line, then you know whether the move is going to come down or it's going to move up. So that's definitely something to look at, especially at open. It's very, very important because even right here, you can see it just at the 761 resistance. It couldn't hold it on Tesla.
Right.
It could not hold that level, and it just kept trying to test it, but it couldn't push past.
Right.
Um,
Right.
This is the stuff you want to wait and watch for. Don't jump into the trade thinking this is going to move up. No, wait. I mean, sure, you might miss out on a couple bucks, but do you want to miss out on a couple bucks, or do you want to lose a shit ton? I mean, it just depends
Yeah.
on what you're looking for.
Yeah, right. I do want to take a couple questions from the chat. We have some coming in. Great question from Maddie B. He says to ask him how he starts his morning. Where does he find the plays before they run? Is there a specific to-do list on what ET does and looks ET is you. ET does and looks for?
Yeah.
Is he just looking online and seeing what is getting the most chatter? If someone isn't familiar with scanners, how do we easily find good day trades? Excellent question.
It's a great question. Who asked that, you said?
That was Maddie B. 740.
Maddie B. Okay, good. So several things I'll look for. Generally speaking, if I see a small cap runner the night before, which actually pulls me back here to the left side of my screen on my chart here.
Which one is that? I'm just having a hard time seeing the writing on your charts for some reason.
Gotcha. Do you see the chart on the left?
Yep.
It's APRE.
Okay.
So this was I think it was a 15 to 20% move here after hours, and you can see it was holding the V Wap trend here, and it was just sitting in that window the entire day. It was just basing, and it made the move after hours. So this is like one that I'm gonna keep on my radar for the morning of, because it's made the move this far, but it rejected at the 6 level. As you can see, it hit 5.99. It's showing. So it rejected the 6 because that's the resistance. And I guarantee you, if I pull out of this chart right now, we can see 6 resistance levels here overall. And so when these are making the certain moves, they're making, here we are right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it hit right at 5.9.
Beautiful.
At the resistance.
Right.
So you can see like this obviously has range. So I look back at these small caps. I'm like, okay, well, let me look at range. So I see this range. It's going to 9.5. All right. But this is exactly a good reason why I don't go to 10, because you can see hit 9.5 and pulled back, where everyone's here thinking this thing's going to go to 10.
Right.
So that's a huge thing to keep in mind here. But it's better to get out early than late.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
And talk about up halts and stuff like that, but that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
'Cause I see a lot of people get trapped in those and just get killed. But here I'm looking at, okay, well, what's the move, right? I'm seeing, okay, this thing has range to 9.5, and it rejected 6. Okay, this is not a level for me to buy at, but I'm going to keep it on my radar, because I'm going to see when markets open tomorrow whether this thing is able to break through the resistance or it's going to just reject and fall back. So this is like something I always like to look for, especially on the small cap side. Large caps after hours, they don't really make big moves unless there's some sort of news or there's an earnings report or something like that, which just learning how to trade earnings is a whole different conversation as well, which is actually in the course, which we're going to talk about.
Yep.
But these are the things I kind of look for. So I look for the small caps. I look at these. For large caps, I look at news, what's happening. A lot of these large cap plays, they wait till after hours to announce something, because they don't want too many people making moves during the day, unless the story leaks, which everyone should follow on Twitter is Walter Bloomberg. He kind of gives us the news quicker than we can actually look for it. And he's helped me tremendously. So I think he deserves his praise. But he gives us news throughout the day, and we'll know what move to what's going to make a move based on news. So
Right.
I always have those on my radar immediately. My chart and my general chart is actually like 8 different charts that I have on a given day. So anyway, that's one thing I look for. Secondly, I look at news that's coming out after hours. what's who's reporting what? Like, is there vaccine news? Is there, did Tesla, launch a new vehicle? Or what are the rumors? So I'm looking at all that after. What's key is that, like, a lot of people just leave the market at close, but really after hours is where things start getting fun,
Right.
because the moves are happening, the news is coming out, and you can make a substantial amount of money in after just by looking in news and seeing what's going on. So there's obviously Twitter people that are posting news. I have what's called trade ideas that I use as my scanner. And there's a pre-market, intraday, and after hours scanner that I use on trade ideas, which will also be in the course that I will share. And I use that. I've tweaked it to my liking, and I use that to kind of figure out what's getting the hits, like what's getting volume, what's losing volume, what's dipping and why it's dipping. All those sorts of plays that I'm looking at, which is very, very useful for me because it keeps things on my radar that I maybe have forgotten about or maybe haven't looked at, because a lot of these small cap plays always come back around at some point.
Right.
And when you see the volume hitting, that's an indicator where you need to add it and see what's going on it. And you can get in and get out quickly, and just make some money off the move. Like APRE, for example, I saw it moving, but it was a little bit too heavy for me. So I did not take this trade, but I did
Okay.
see it. Um, I did see the way it was moving, and I wanted to keep it on my radar for Monday, but it wasn't a trade I took on Friday. So, so yeah, I'll start looking news, what's going on Twitter, what people are posting about, like your trade ideas. Um, I look at one thing everyone should look at: the Webull pre-market gapper and also after hours list. That's one thing I use on a daily basis as well, and to kind of get an idea what's moving. And if I didn't see it on the scanner, I'll see it there usually. And then I'll look at plays like, there's a Kobe thing coming out on WKEY tomorrow. So I'm looking at this. It looks terrible, but what I'm looking at is on an overall basis. Let me see here, 1 second.
This is WKEY.
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
looking at WKEY here. As you can see right here, there's news coming on it tomorrow regarding Kobe and his NFT. This is an NFT play.
Gotcha.
Here you can see on a 2-week basis, it's bouncing off trend. So it hit its resistance up here at 9.37 because it was near 10. Remember, we talked about that earlier, but it's staying on trend. You can see right here on Wednesday, it bounced right off the trend line, and
Beautiful.
it just moved up. And if you were in here, you're just making this as a dollar play right here, which is a dollar in this move right here is about 15%. So if you have whatever in here playing it off the trend line, you just made 15% of your money right there,
Dang.
over a couple of days. But I'm watching this closely because I like the way it's moving. It's inside the trend channel and you can see my chart here is a 20-day 1 hour. I use it sometimes for plays that are happening now.
Okay.
So I use this chart, and it's very useful because I'm seeing the trend channels here, so, and the support and resistance overall. So this thing has room too. I remember this was a big mover at one point. You can see it went to 2261. So
Wow.
it has the range. It just, this is back in March,
Gotcha.
so it has the range and it could move quickly. But I think that answered your question, right?
Yeah, that's great, man. We do have a couple questions from chat. This one, I think we mostly cover this. If you want to touch on it, you can. You don't have to. Davey Noy wants to know what are some tips for a younger person, a teenager entering the stock market or having some interest?
Oh, wow, teenager. I have a lot of respect for newer traders that are in their teens. I think you guys are, ahead of us. I'm pretty young still, but you guys have this whole sort of different drive and determination for the market, which I find very commendable for that group. But I think that for a new trader that's that young, you're not looking to make money for the most part. You're looking to learn education
Yeah.
because you give yourself 2, 3 years of solid education, whether you're in college or just graduating high school or even in high school. You give yourself 2, 3 years of knowledge. Just start it now. Give yourself the education now. Just give yourself 2, 3 years of education and study the charts, study the moves, study everything, or take my course. But once you have that down, then the next 50, 60, hopefully longer years, you'll always be paid with the market. And I think that is one key takeaway for people that are younger. Is don't think that don't think that right now is the time to make money. Right now is the time to educate yourself. Give yourself a couple of years at least to really learn what's going on and how to play the market. Because once you learn at this level or at that age, then you'll give yourself decades and decades of earnings, overall. So that's the best sort of feedback I can give you.
Yeah, that's great. I hope that helps you, Davey. Appreciate the question. I think we covered this for the most part. I'll read it out, though. It's from Void Minds. How do you pick the swing trades for small accounts, assuming no day trades under PDT? If you want you to cover that quickly.
Yeah, sure. So what I always recommend for new traders is get a cash account because a cash account essentially gives you unlimited plays throughout the day, but you can't use that same cash back. So let's say I have, $2,000 in a cash account. I can use, let's say I use $500 on a Tesla trade and it makes the move and I make some money. Then I can't use that 500 again the same day, but I will be able to use it the next day basically. So I can constantly use that. So let's say I put like $100 in each trade, right? That's 20 day trades. And specifically on the option side. So if you use it on the small cap, like equity side, you're only going to be able to, so it takes 2 days for the cash to settle instead of one day overnight. So just keep that in mind. But I think new traders should definitely have a cash account. Don't mess with the PDT and all that because you're just going to end up frustrating yourself.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense. We got a couple more coming in. I'll just keep firing them at you, and then we'll move on to, I've got like 2 more topics, I think.
Yeah, sure.
What type of computer setup do you have for day trading? So I'm guessing that means like how many screens and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so this one's that's a good question. So I use the brand new. So I always upgrade every year,
Gotcha.
depending on what's out there. Right now I'm using the Mac Mini with the M1 chip that just came out, and I have a 49-inch LED QLED screen.
Okay.
That's pretty wide where I can see all my charts. Then I have two 21.5-inch screens on the left and right side of my main Samsung screen. That's in the center. And on the side screens, I use whatever, like Twitter, Discord, software called Quant Data. On the right side, I use Trade Ideas, and I have some news under that. And then in the center, I use my charts.
Gotcha. That's great. Real quick for me, I did notice that you said you're going to do a giveaway at some point. Are we still doing that tonight?
Yeah, for sure. So
Okay.
we can do it how you like it. We can either kind of get all the names that were in here tonight and have them just randomly select someone.
Right.
But what we're going to do is we're going to give away our course that's coming up soon. We're going to give someone a free course.
That's awesome.
To learn how to trade.
That is so cool, man. So
Yeah.
what we've done in the past, we can either do that, or what we've done is everyone who's still live in the room right now, Colonel, he's one of my mods. We've put in like a keyword, and then everyone types that word into chat, and that's how you get entered into the lottery. Would you want to do that?
Whatever works for you, I'm cool with it.
Okay. Colonel, if you're there, put a 1 into chat, and then we'll. I'm gonna tweet out that we're gonna do the giveaway, and we'll set that up. If you want to set it up, Colonel, let's do the word. Let's just make it elegant. Yeah, you want me to type it to you or just elegant? We can do that as the word. And then everyone who wants to enter into the giveaway, type elegant into chat. You just need to type it once after he sets it up. Colonel, when you set it up, just throw a 2 in chat, and then we'll know that it's live. The elegants are flying in now. Perfect.
Oh, by the way, for whoever is getting the script right now, we do have a backlog of orders, so it's going to take a little bit to get to you, but it will get to you. Just please be patient.
Awesome. I'm going to. Oh, Colonel, if you could also remove the follow only mode on the chat, and I'm going to tweet out that we're doing the giveaway now, and then we'll cover what the course is all about.
Yeah, sure.
If you want, you can start into that while I tweet this.
Yeah, definitely. So when I was starting out, as I told you guys like several years ago, there was really no one to teach me the real market at a reasonable price. Like you have people that are just trying to take advantage of traders and their pockets because they're new and they have no idea what's going on. And I dislike that so much because it's something that I think taking advantage of people is something that should, especially, and it happens a lot, unfortunately, in trading because there's no like golden rule book that anyone follows by. So it's very easy for people to get taken advantage of. But what we're doing is I just thought, hey, I want to do something, and really it's not a money thing because actually I don't make much off of it compared to my actual trading.
Right.
But it's something that I feel like everyone needs, and that's just to learn the actual market and how it works. And the keys are the foundations of how the market works. Now, obviously, you're not going to learn everything in 6 weeks. It's impossible. It takes years. But to give you the foundation of being able to actually go in and trade and not worry about what the move is going to be because you already know the move, that's the key. And so that's the reason, we put this course together. It's because we wanted, especially new traders and even experienced traders, to really get the fundamentals of trading down at a reasonable price where anyone can, for the most part, afford. And when I started, there was no one that was cool enough. It was thousands and thousands of dollars, and couldn't pay for that at the time. So that's what made me want to develop this course. And it's at vistatradingco.com. So I'm not a huge into promoting things constantly, but I think this will be great for everybody that wants to just learn how to trade and not worry about what the move's going to be because you're going to know what's going to happening. And we're going to share basically everything that you basically need to know at the beginning, and we're going to like the technical side as well because you also need the tech side to understand the markets and how they move. But it's very deep, and it really is going to show all trade, especially newer to intermediate traders, exactly how to look at the market and how to trade. So we're doing the $399 for 150 traders. I think there's a couple of those left, and then the regular price, which is going to be $599, is going to basically take hold. After that, then we do one-on-ones. So I do one-on-ones one a week. I'm actually like super behind on those. I almost have the upper since I put that up. So I only do one a week because of timing reasons. But
Of course.
But I think this course is something that I think is going to change. To be frank with you, I don't think anyone has a course like this, especially at how cheap we're offering it. And the great Christina is on this course as well with me, and using her skill set as well. I think it's going to be a course that's really going to change the game, and we're hoping that a lot of people get interested and actually get it so that they can understand how trading works.
Absolutely. And we have it up on the screen, traders. These are the different courses that you can take. Here's the one-on-one with Elegant, the script for Think or Swim. Starts October the 1st. Save your spot, okay? And we'll be giving this away today. Hey, Jay Licious, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Damn, okay. We just hit 300 subs in the channel. I appreciate that.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Damn, that's super cool. Thank you, Jay Licious. Yeah, feel free to subscribe to my Twitch as well. I'm just kidding. Yeah, awesome stuff, dude. Cool. Is there anything you want to share on your screen from the course, or you think that's good?
No, I mean, I think I've shared quite a bit today.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But one thing I just want everyone to understand is to firstly, just don't go into chat rooms that tell you they're going to give you the world and don't deliver, and you lose your account.
Right.
These chat rooms are super, super focused on membership and super focused on just making money off people that are gullible overall and don't understand the market. And I think you guys have to really understand not to throw your money at people you don't know. Build trust and really trust people. Don't believe other people tweeting about somebody, and this could just be people that are paid to do that. And really figure out the market, or figure out Twitter on a base of trust, and who you can trust and who to actually buy the course and stuff from. And I hope that me coming on and showing you what I know to a very small level, it gives you guys the trust that you need to kind of believe in what I'm doing and we're doing at Vista Trading, because our entire focus is to teach you guys like how to trade and not take advantage of you. And so that's why we're offering all this free content. We have Zooms every Tuesday evening for those that can't afford the course, that we give you a little bit there. We have our Discord room now. That's if you want to be in it, DM me, and I will get you a little sign-up sheet where you can get in. We don't just allow random people in. We actually have to know who you are, what you're doing, what your goals are. So it's a group of very supportive people, and it's still pretty fresh. So we're developing all these things to kind of giving everyone a fighting advantage in the market and overall. Whether if you can afford the course or not, we still want to help you out.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, like even your I believe the small account challenge, that's all for free, right?
Yeah, so the small account challenge is still happening. We're just at over 2K. So the goal for that account start at 1.5, where the goal is $100 a day. So right now I'm just over $2,000. So last week we did over 500, just over $500 on the week. And so this week starts a new week. Even the last week I was super distracted with all the stuff that was happening overall, as far as like getting the account challenge in place, and the Discord, and getting the course and all those sorts of things going on. So we still did it, and so the goal is $100 a day. We're posting all the trades for free on our Discord that you can follow by filling out the form. And also on top of that, we have, like, if you want to obviously learn more, then we also have education in our Discord that also teaches you things. That's run by a good guy, good friend, the Bastard. I mean, tremendous work for us. And I know he's a friend of yours too.
Big time, yeah.
But I mean, he's doing great things at Vesta, and he's a part of the team, and so we're doing a lot of free things. And the only thing we're really doing that's not free is the course, and that teaches you everything for the most part that you need to know to start on the market and to actually make trades and be successful at it. And we're there to support you also along the way.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, all right, sounds good, bro. Let's do the draw. Colonel, if you want to, I'll count it down, I guess. We'll do that. Hot Slang wants to know where the form is. Is that on the website on Vesta?
So you have to DM me because I gotta know who you are.
Okay.
So DM me and I will send you the form.
So here is his Twitter hot slang. So this is what you're gonna want to hit up and just DM him. DMs are open. Then you can get access the form through DMs. Okay. So I have this thing called Nightbot in chat. It's gonna post out the winner. That way you know we're not just bullshitting. Nightbot is literally a robot, and we put everyone who typed in elegant, they were submitted into this kind of pool, and we will. Oh, so we got 45 people in the pool. That's cool. Awesome. So take your if you guys did not type elegant in chat, there's 84 of you right now in the room. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to type elegant in the chat. All right, you don't want to miss out on this. This is hundreds of dollars of educational content that's going to help you find your own trading style and really make it in the market. And if you did already type it, you should be fine, but you can type it again if you don't remember. All right, I think I'll count it down now, Colonel, while people are getting their last entries in. We'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Colonel, let it rip. So Nightbot will pop up there. Okay, we got Nikki Monsma. Nikki Monsma has won the giveaway. Nikki, are you there? Nikki, if you're in chat, congratulations, you've won. You are there. Awesome. Cool stuff. Awesome, Nikki. So, oh, you already bought it. Then why did you enter?
That's funny.
I don't know. What do you think, Elliot? Do you want to do a reroll, or do you want to reimburse her? Maybe I don't know what we do with that.
Yeah, I mean we're not refunding, but
okay.
you know, but what we can do is I'll take care of Nikki on the side. I'll help her out with something, maybe a one-on-one or something. But I would. Can you guys do it again?
We can do it again. Yeah, let's do a reroll.
Okay.
So, Colonel, can you set it back up and we'll have everyone enter again, or can you just re-roll that same group?
And I'll take care of Nikki.
Perfect. We can re-roll that same group, it seems like, so I'll just do the countdown again, and I'll do it from 5 this time. Nikki, Elegant is going to take care of you. Don't worry. Only in 100 million room. Okay, so anyone except for Nikki can win this. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it, Colonel. Okay, now we got Vin Deagle _ has won the giveaway. Congratulations, Vin. Just put a comment in chat just to let us know you're still there. If not, we'll roll again. There you are. Let's go. Congratulations, Mr. Vin. So do you want him to DM you or?
Yeah, just DM me.
So Vin Deagle, just because your Twitter name might not be the same as your Twitch name, can you whisper me on Twitch what your Twitter handle is, and then I will add you into a group chat with me and Elegant. So once again, Vin, if you could whisper me on Twitch, it's a Twitch DM. DM me on Twitch, so that way I know it's the same person, because if you have a different Twitter name, there's no way to confirm that it's you. So yeah, please whisper me, and we will set that up. Alrighty. Perfect. Congratulations, Vin. That is awesome, dude. You're in for
congrats, Vin.
That's a hell of a course, for sure. Yeah, guys, I think that is pretty good. One thing I like to end these on, Elegant, is usually I'll ask the question, if someone is having just consistently, red day after red day, maybe they blew up a couple accounts and then they come back, they reload the account, and they just keep having more red days. Maybe they're trying to run a full-time job and just not finding what they're trying to find. What advice could you give this person?
Yeah, so the feedback I can give them, to be honest with you, and this is not a plug, but is to take a course. And I think ours is going to be the best, and that's at the price. No one's going to give that to you.
Right.
But I think the key is the educational side. If you're building up accounts, you're doing something wrong. So you have to, before you jump in again and try to trade, I would focus in on getting some education, and to really try to understand the market. And then secondly, paper trade. Then there's nothing wrong with paper trading for a while until you get your groove. Yeah, it's not the same, and I understand
Right.
that, but it at least gives you some experience overall. And I think once you have enough experience and education, then you can jump in and feel open to um, trading with real money. And even with real money, you don't have to go into $50-$100 a day. Just start with $10 a day and see how consistent you can keep that. If you can keep $10 a day for 3 months, that means you can move into a higher range and continue to raise your goal as you grow. So everyone started somewhere, and including myself. So and get this like get rich quick thing out of your head, because it's not going to happen. And the sooner you get that out of your head, the better, because you want to be here for a long time, and not just for a moment in time. So I think those are things just to keep in mind as a new trader, is to make sure that you have enough consistency, and to make sure that you're not having unrealistic expectations of yourself. Because when you have unrealistic expectations, that puts more stress on you than you need. So on a psych level, it's very, very important to be healthy, because if you're struggling, and you're just trying to jump into something to make a quick buck, or you're just desperate, I think those are the times where you're going to lose the most. So definitely keep that in mind as you trade day to day.
Absolutely. Absolutely love to hear that. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Elegant. I truly, truly appreciate it. Actually, Vin just DM'd me. Okay, so his Twitter name. Perfect. I'll send this to you, Elegant. I'll DM you on Twitter with his Twitter name. We'll add him into a group with us.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Okay, cool.
And whoever has any interest in the Discord or the course, you can feel free to go on our website. And I don't know if you can pull it up on your end, 100, but
Yep.
the course is on there. And then secondly, you can just DM for access to the Discord once you fill out the form, and then you can join us on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, where we do free Zooms, and we usually have a couple hundred people that show up. So you can access that as well by getting into the forum by DMing myself. And yeah, hopefully this was informative for you guys.
This is awesome, man. 100%. I'm sure a lot of us are going to be rewatching this one. And just while we're on that topic, this is recorded and will be posted under my videos tab on Twitch. And I will also be uploading it to my YouTube channel. And if you guys don't want to miss that, let me do command YouTube in chat, and that link will pop up. There you go. So you can subscribe there if you don't want to miss it. We're going to upload this to YouTube so you guys can rewatch it and study up. Alrighty, you don't want to miss Elegant Traders' future Zoom calls either, so make sure you guys get into the room for that. Yeah, a huge thanks to you, man, for coming on. I know you're a busy guy with all your businesses. How many businesses? You got like 8?
No, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it definitely keeps me super busy and trading on top.
Oh, for sure, man.
So it's definitely busy.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I truly appreciate it. And thank you to all the mods who are modding tonight, the Bastard Trader, Colonel, J-Licious, Dowdy Dims, and all you guys. I appreciate that as well. Yeah, if you guys
definitely, if I can just give a shout out to
yeah.
to Bastard for his help and to Christina, aka Lil Rascal, for going through this, with the course and being one of the best traders I know. And then also thanks to you for having me and showing support in the game, because there was a moment there where some people were talking, and things, so that person thought things could get bad for me, but it actually got better. So
Right.
I appreciate everyone's support in that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had more stuff to cover, but I think we can save it for another time. I like how we've wrapped things up here. So, like I said, man, much appreciated.
Definitely.
And yeah, hit them up, guys. You don't want to miss out. Thank you for coming on the call today, Elegant, and we'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Alrighty, you too. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, traders. You're stuck with me again. Welcome back. Okay, let me be careful when I turn this music on. I always blast my ears out. Thank you guys for joining the stream today. Okay, this is Elegant Trader up on the screen for you. I'm going to switch you guys back over to intermission. Thank you so much for joining, traders. How was that out of 10? Right? That wasn't a 5. That wasn't a 6. That was an 11, dude. Elegant Trader. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Absolute pleasure. Why am I drinking? I do work tomorrow, and I'm coming off an 18-hour shift, so I don't know. Very informative, 100%, man. Yeah, shout out to everyone new following the channel. If you're new, we do these interviews every weekend, and I do live day trading streams where I try to walk you guys through how to use technical analysis to day trade. So if you guys want to participate in those, it's Monday to Friday. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. Make sure you please check out Elegant Trader on Twitter. Alrighty. Thank you guys. I appreciate and love every single one of you. The turnout was great tonight, guys. Damn, we had over 100 people in here. What, drinking water is bad for learning? Ah, well. I thought I'd give it a try for once. You know what I mean? Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone who came out tonight. I love you guys. And we'll see you in the next show. 100 out.
Got me feeling hella love, even when it's going down. Know that we gon' live it up. Young shot caller, always been a baller. Know that you the one, I can feel it in my heart. Yeah, I won't stop charging me, going come harder. I can see you and I, way beyond the stars, girl. I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.
When the lights go down, I've seen hell in you, but you don't care, no, you don't care,
just rather watch me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world while living.
What's up, traders? Welcome to the after show, 100 After Dark. I should really stop doing these on the interview episodes, but it's too much fun. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. If you're new, this is where I make a really terrible joke where it's, you know, the Marvel movies and they end and the credits roll, but it's just that one video that everyone sits around and waits for. That's what this is. Yeah, you know. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the channel. I make a lot of jokes like that, so you can look forward to that. Was that a good interview tonight, guys? Favorite part of the stream? What's up, JV? JV is always in these, dude. Love him. Best part of the stream? Thank you. Fantastic, yeah? Bro, he's such a cool guy. Super knowledgeable, dude. Like, damn. And he's been trading, I think, for 4 years. That's what happens if you just put your head in the game and you really just, you know, you put everything into it, right? You know how to find them? You know. I vet my guests pretty good. I'll put it that way. I don't want to bring people on here who aren't going to help you guys learn. So that's the point of the channel. $100 to $1 million. I'm going to help you guys get there. All right, traders. You already find these people? I got my connections. I have people messaging me requesting to be on the show, and I've turned some down before as well. So this is a high-end show you guys are watching. When it gets to the point where you have to turn people down, crazy. 100 million is everywhere. Yes, sir. You know. That's because you've big shot now. Yeah, we'll see. Twitch is going to be the deciding factor. We'll see if I get that partner. I'm hoping to find out end of next week, Jaylicious. That's like 3 interviews this week. Yeah, and I'm still booked up for the next 2 weeks. So it's ridiculous. Rodessa next weekend at 1 p.m. I'll let you know if anything changes. The Johnny Carson of Twitch. Thank you. Derpity Dip. Appreciate it. All right, guys. This was a blast. I do work tomorrow, okay, during the day. All right? So there won't be a live day trading stream tomorrow, but there will be one on Tuesday, 12 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. You know what's up. All righty. So I'll see you guys then. I did get Rodessa. Yeah, he's coming on Saturday. He actually DM'd me and requested to come on, so that was pretty sweet. Yeah, after that whole back and forth, he DM'd me, and yeah, we set it up, man. Yeah, it was crazy. So look forward to that. Awesome trader. Anyway, guys, I got to wrap things up here, so the YouTube video isn't too long. We're about to hit 2 hours. We got 11 minutes to 2 hours, so I appreciate you guys. Come to GMT Voice. I'll lead you all the glory in 100's plays. Yes, sir. Colonel's the man, dude. Tell him to stop streaming the same time you do it, and you'll put him on. That's an excellent point, really, Scott. It's an excellent point. All right, guys. 11, appreciate you. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I know I'll see you guys in the next stream. I love you. 100 out.